Okay, this is the fourth vision. It is a vision that I had shortly after 911, and it's frankly very scary. I did not share it with anybody for quite a long time, and then I shared it with some authorities back then, and so I did pass the word out of responsibility, but it is a spiritual vision, so you gotta take it as such. But I definitely see it as a definite warning for our state and our nation. So this is the fourth of 7 visions. It was 3 a.m. I woke in a pool of sweat, as though someone had drained a 5-gallon bucket of water out over me. My t-shirt was saturated, and so were the sheets and the pillow. I was terrified. I can't ever remember a time in my life when I was more afraid of anything. I remember glancing down at my arms while typing to see them white as a sheet. What I had just seen I had to write, and what I wrote I was paranoid to share with anyone. And so I hid the disc in my toolbox for several years. Here's what I saw. Selfridge Air National Guard Base in Mount Clemens, Michigan, had been taken siege and held for 6 hours. The enemy, primarily Chaldean Muslims from the Detroit area, had easily taken Selfridge, killed the guards, taken hostages, and set guards of their own. They waltzed in with highly trained pilots and launched 2 fighter jets into the air loaded with 500-pound bombs and missiles. They dropped our bombs on Cleveland, Dayton, Pittsburgh, Chicago, and other major cities with the intent of damaging and crippling the United States economy and infrastructure. Other objectives, but these were primarily meant to distract focus from the main objective, which was holding Selfridge for 6 hours while they conducted their bombing raids, was to take control of 2 nuclear power plants and to threaten to destroy them if Selfridge were attacked. This they accomplished. They also took and held control of major interstates that led into Michigan, namely I-75, 23, and 94. This was done with major explosions and small arms fire from barricades formed from the overturned trucks. They also took and held control of major interstates. Oops, I already read that part. They also took control of the Mackinac Bridge and threatened to destroy it if Selfridge were attacked. Poisoning the Great Lakes was another threat objective, but was never intended to be carried out, only to hold off retaliation for 6 hours while they bombed these major cities. That was the first part of the vision, horrific. The second part unfolded the methods that were used to obtain their military objectives. I saw ships that were carrying usual cargo containers you normally see and smaller Connex type boxes. These ships were ocean-going vessels that usually were navigating the St. Lawrence Seaway. During the night, these vessels would drop 1 or 2 cargo boxes into the waterway, where they were met by small boats that pulled these boxes ashore to caches of stores. These stores were in warehouses with usual labels so as to go unnoticed. The boxes often contain enemy combatants, highly trained individuals with small arms, explosive devices, rocket-powered launchers, ammunition, and basic food stores. These stores were located along the Seaway in Canada and in less sophisticated stores in underground locations near the Seaway north of Maine. This activity had been going on for over 12 years. I then saw the Muslim men who were planning each of these objectives, discussing targets, logistics, intelligence, and these had been appointed by Osama bin Laden. These were both born and raised in Canada and the United States, as well as those foreign-born. These had participated in 9/11 as intelligence and logistics officers and were men who had long-standing rapport in affluent circles in metropolitan communities. They were savvy and hand-picked the most aggressive youths to send them for training. Some of them had been trained in the Canadian and United States military and attended major universities. What is more disturbing is what I saw next. I saw a table where sat Islamic military leaders, primarily Al-Qaeda, but a few Saudi Arabian. With these sat two high-level Chinese government officials and two government business liaisons from the United States who were United States citizens of no Islamic origin. It was apparent to me that this was well planned, well organized, and highly funded, brilliantly executed and accomplished what it had been designed to do: cripple our economy and further create dependence on foreign control. The presence of two Americans made it clear the objectives were also political, to manipulate our citizens. Interpretation to this vision is not necessary. It was not concealed in any mystery. It was a horrific vision to warn the United States of treachery within our ranks. It was given for the purpose of a calling to arms and preparation against such an invasion. More specifically, it was a call to focus the enemy's plans. It was a call to focus on the enemy's plans, which were clearly pointed at gaining control of the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan is a long-term objective for Muslim control. Islam is aware of the industrial infrastructure, the natural and human resources, and that of surrounding states. To gain control of Michigan and the St. Lawrence Seaway, with the cooperation of a Muslim-biased Canada, is to reach into the heart of America and eat from her hand. To control mining, shipping, farming, and fresh water is to see Muslim population and control expanding to the United States in the form of ushering in a long-term Islamic state and power base within the United States. It is clear that the next gubernatorial race is a vital national security, as well as strengthening the Michigan economy. Michigan is currently weaker than she's ever been, and it's my feeling that this has been by design. Okay. I recorded this in 2009, and there's the fourth of 7 visions.